Good morning. Welcome to lecture number 4, WinCC User Archive Control. Let's create new window User Archive, and in this window I will put the WinCC User Archive Control. This User Archive Control looks near the same like in all controls from WinCC. We need to select some properties. First of all, we need to select the user archive name. We can select, for example, our chocolate from our archive. So we select the chocolate, we apply. As you see, my type cacao, milk, sugar, water, nuts, dried fruits come into my view. So when I run this WinCC runtime, I should have this. What we have the possibilities? We have the modify, insert, delete. We can disable this option and we can enable this option. We have the columns. Our columns comes directly when we attach this archive chocolates into this WinCC User Archive Control. So we see the type cacao, milk, sugar, etc. etc. We can disable some. I don't change this because it should work as default, so we don't need to change this. We have option to change the font, the colors, the online configuration, but it's the same like in all WinCC controls. We can play a bit with this, but let's don't waste the time. So let's save this and let's start this WinCC runtime so we can see how it's working in runtime. Okay, I started my WinCC runtime and I see table. It looks the same like in my user archive in editor mode, so it looks good. Okay, and I see the dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and MC1923, and I have some values for my system. It's the same, the cacao, milk, sugar, water, etc. etc. And I have also option the last user who modified this recipe and the last access. So we know exactly when someone changed our recipe, we can make the revision of our recipe system. So we know exactly who did the changes in our production. In WinCC User Archive Control, we have toolbar. This toolbar looks similar to other WinCC controls, but take a look on this. We have the properties when we want. We have option to make the first row. We can go to previous, next, and the last row in our system. We can change also the data set. So if we have more archives, for example the beer, we can select also this in WinCC online. Okay, beer is empty, so I don't have any data to show, but it allows you to configure this. Next option, we can delete something, we can cut something, copy, paste, and that's all. We have option to read data from, for example, from PLC or from internal tags, and we have also option to download data to our PLC. We can export and import data into our WinCC system, so we can export data to CSV file, and for example we can also bring the file on the pen drive, the CSV. We created something on our laptop and we want to attach this into WinCC User Archive Control. We can make this with CSV file and we can import this into our system. We have option to selection, to sort something, we have printing, export, and time-based dialog. So we can use the local time and UTC. Okay, so let's try to add something into our WinCC user archive. So when I put MD1111999 and I put some data into my parameters, I should be able to add this also into our WinCC user archive in editor mode. So we see that our ID is now 6. Yes, we have the same in archive data in editor mode. So we have this data inside our user archive. We can delete this. Okay, and now from system should delete also. Yes, it's gone. Now we can copy and, for example, paste. And now we need to change the name of this type, because this system not allow you to have the same name as a type. And as you see, my ID is now 7. So we deleted 6, and when I insert new data, it's 7, because we have the indexing on our user archive. And we have also in user archive data. I could also cut something and, for example, paste to another user archive, but let's say it's not so important for us now. Okay, we now know how to use the WinCC UserArchiveControl. Let's go to next lecture.